So I will speak in pauses today. Can you take this and take one and pass it around? Or maybe take one for 2 people and pass, because there's only 36 copies. If 2 people, cool. All right, it's 1:31, and I do want to start on time, even though there's not too many people here, but maybe that's how it is today. That's all I have, unfortunately. But we can print more later. Wait, I think some people need some. Okay, let's get this party started. So welcome back to the 37 Pile Mandala Offering class. Thank you for coming back. Let's start by setting our motivation for today. So we all know somebody who is suffering in some way. And we really would love to help them get out of suffering. And we think of all the worldly ways that we try to help them come out of suffering. And how cool it would be if we could help them in some deep and ultimate way to get to their ultimate happiness. And so we're here in this retreat taking these classes because we know we're planting the seeds to reach our own enlightenment, which will then help all others reach their enlightenment too. So let this be a cause for that. Okay. So I cut out quite a lot of material from today's class after recognizing I spoke entirely too fast yesterday. So we're going to go over much less material than we were taught originally and that we had planned to go over today. But if people have interest, then either Vika or I can share a lot more details later over Zoom if anybody's interested. So today we're just going to go over the meaning of the Tibetan words of the prayer and the mechanics of placing the piles for the middle part of the prayer and occasions upon which to do this mandala offering. So actually, just so I get a sense of my pace, how many people here are getting translations? So we have a translation here. Is there any other translation happening in there as well? Inside only. Okay. So I'm just going to keep my eye for pace. So when the translation finishes, I'll continue with my next sentence. So to recap, we are learning this mandala offering as a method of making merit. But why do we want to make merit? Why? Buddhahood, yes. So I should sit on my bed and make piles of rice with my mandala kit all day so I can reach Buddhahood, and I shouldn't go help my neighbor who needs help mowing their lawn. Both? Okay. Yeah, you came right quick to the answer, faster than my class did. So, right, so how is it that putting piles of rice in the rings is going to make it so that our neighbors stop suffering, whether their grass grows or not? But boom, the intention we put behind it. So our intention and the object towards which we're offering these pure and perfect worlds, these supercharge our practice. So we can do both. Why not? It only takes, once you do it, it only takes a few minutes each day to actually do the mandala offering. So rituals are weird things, kind of, right? And if we have the seeds to be attracted to them, then we don't need any explanation for why we should do them. But for those of us with a logical, rational mind, we may not see their value. But we've heard Geshe-la say, it's not the ritual that does anything, it's doing the ritual. Right? Do you get the difference? It's the planting the seed by doing a ritual that makes a ritual a ritual. And so that's why we do it over and over again. It's a tool to plant seeds in a very specific way that's handed down to us through the lineage in a very distilled and powerful way. So one of the rituals of our tradition is this mandala offering done with piles of grain. And that's something that really any of us can get. It's not that we have to go out and actually get a pile of precious jewels, which most of us would be like, oh, I can't really do that. But we can get rice, so it's not a big investment in resources every time we do it. And yet every time we do it, we're planting seeds in our mind of offering a pure and beyond precious world to beings who are karmic objects that are even beyond what we can conceive of. Some who we can't even see in front of us. So really, we're only limited by our imagination and how powerful this can be. And so we can decide, this seems silly, there's no reason to do this, which is why I'm going to do it. Because I need to become omniscient. I need to become a being made of love, compassion, and omniscience. And so I'm going to spend 5 minutes a day creating this pure. Okay, I think we're back. Right, so I'm going to spend the 5 minutes a day doing the ritual because doing it is the power, not the actual ritual. Okay. So it's the same with it's back. All right, I won't scream. So it's the same with mantras, right? It's not the, I'm distracted now. It's not the mantra, it's doing the mantra, right? So it's important to have the state of mind while we're doing the ritual, because otherwise we get an attachment to the ritual and we think about it in the wrong way. And then thinking about things in the wrong way detracts from all the good seeds that we're planting by doing the ritual. So in the offering, when you get to the end, which maybe you can see on your paper if you have one, it says, accept and grant your blessings to me. At that point, stop and think, this is weird. This just looks like a pile of rice. But I know, of course, these grains of rice are empty from their own side. And so they call it dissolve into emptiness, which means I'm just going to think of its emptiness. My pile of rice isn't going to disappear. I think of its emptiness, and because of its emptiness, it can be a pure and perfect and exquisite world filled with pure and exquisite things and beings. And then you actually re-see it as that by saying the Sashi Puki, here is the great earth. And you bring it out as this pure world that you're offering to your holy being. So let's go over some of the meanings of the words. Actually, first we'll start with Mandala, which means to hold the essence. And the essence is code for the state of mind of enlightened being. So what this is telling us is that mandala is a physical expression of the state of mind of enlightened being. So what is the state of mind of enlightened being? Bliss, that's good. Omniscience. Yeah. So it's perceiving emptiness and dependent origination directly of all beings, born of wanting all of existence to be happy and free of suffering. So love, compassion, wisdom. Mandala is an expression of that, and it comes to mean a pure world. And then we have Om Vajra Bhumi Ahung, the first line. So let's break that down. Om means Om, Geshe-la always says. It's the word for starting a mantra. It's a word that is the seed syllable for the pure body, pure speech, pure mind of enlightened being. And when we say it, it's like our intention is to remind us of our belief in them, that they exist, all that they had to do to become enlightened, all of their merit making and purification, our admiration of their deeds, and our aspiration to become like them. So all of that is an Om. Vajra means diamond. Here it's the connotation of being unbreakable, undestroyable, unscratchable, except by another diamond. And here it stands for that wind disk that we talked about yesterday, the foundation of the world. There's the wind disk, the water disk, the gold disk, water gold. You know, I took it so long ago, I don't remember. Okay, yes, ACI 8. And then Bhumi means earth, a big flat plate, meaning the foundation of our whole planet and all of its spiritual levels. So it doesn't mean earth as in our earth planet. It means this unbreakable wind disk that is the foundation of our world, our existence. Is the specific seed syllable for enlightened speech. And so by saying we're planting the seeds that we get that enlightened speech. Hung means enlightened mind, their omniscience. And that means a lot of things, but one of which is they know my karma, past, present, and future. And so they know what's coming up, and they know what I need to give up and take up so I can change that. So we are becoming that. Om Ahung. Here is the mighty ground of gold, is the next line. So we heard there was the wind disk, water disk, gold disk yesterday. And they call it the mighty ground of gold, which means there's some kind of power in it. Not just that it's valuable, but it signifies some kind of power. Om Vajrayaki Ahung is the next line. Om Vajra is the same. Reiki means a fence or a line. Ahung is the speech and mind of Buddha making everything pure. And so here what it's referring to is that outer wall of mountains that we said was on top of that gold disc. Actually, everything is on top of that gold disc. But so the surrounding outer wall of mountains is a manifestation of wisdom, which means everything else that's inside that outer wall of mountains, which is everything we're going to be adding, that's all turned into something sacred. Francisco, can you please put up image 2-2? Great. So this is in the printout, not in color, and then you have access from your phones, hopefully still, and we'll share the QR code if you don't. Thank you, Vika, putting up the mandala set. That gold circle, that's our base plate. That black line on the outside, that's our first ring. And that squiggly line, that's going to be our rice for our outer wall of mountains. And you're looking at that image so that the bottom, number 2, that's the one that's closest to you, no matter how you're sitting. So let's just quickly go through the steps we did yesterday. We took a handful of rice, picked up our base, do 1 refuge clockwise, 1 counterclockwise, 1 clockwise. As you're doing that, you're scrubbing your plate of gold with the side of your arm, which is stimulating the channels that go to your heart. And you have rice in this hand. So all of these steps, you have rice in your hand. But for this, you're letting the rice go, so the rice is sort of scrubbing your plate. We're going to build it on, so the question was,
yesterday you mentioned that you should put inside like rice and something else, or maybe I understand wrong.
The little gemstones. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so that just means within you're going to have an apron, and that's going to hold your rings, your rice, your gems. Everything is going to be in your set. But when
you just remove it, like.
But yeah, so just for carrying purposes, maybe you keep everything inside just while you're carrying it around. But when we're building it, we build it this way.
I see. Thank you.
So we did 3 refuges, right? And then Om Vajrabhumi Ahum. Here is the mighty ground of gold, going clockwise, again with the rice coming out of your fist. Then we put on our first ring. And we do Om Vajrayaki Ahung. Here is the surrounding outer wall of mountains. You take your fistful of rice, start at the point closest to you, and go in a circle. And then you do Mount Meru in the middle with a big fistful of rice, because we want our mountain to be tall, while saying in the center is Summit, King of Mountains. And that's everything we got to yesterday. So we're going to go on now to the continents. And in the imagery, you're trying to think of everything going a little bit in and way, way up. So the verses say, to the east is Great Body, to the south is Zambu. To the west is cattle, to the north is sound of terror. Francisco, can you please put up 2-3? So we said east is the direction closest to us, which means west is across from us, south is to our left, and north is to our right. So at the base of the mountains at the east is the continent called Great Body. So you're holding your mandala kit, and you would put a big pile of rice at the place closest to you for Great Body, saying to the east is Great Body. Then another fistful of rice to the south is Zambu, which is our continent, by the way. Another pile of rice for cattle. And then another pile of rice for the continent called Sound of Terror. Each of those continents has 2 subcontinents that are to their left and right, which is what comes next in the prayer. So those piles are going to be close to your continent pile, but a little bit closer to the center. And they go, so body and great body are the 2 subcontinents. I don't know if you can read that. It's little. But you're all young, maybe with good eyes still. So body and great body are the subcontinents for great body. So you go to the left and then to the right, putting little piles for each. You can do that with 1 fistful of rice if you want. Then you go to Zambu, go past it a little bit to put oxtail in the second. Then you go up to cattle. You put in moving in the high path. And then you go to Sound of Terror and put Sound of Terror and its mate. So we had that outer wall of mountains, Mount Meru. I was going to have you go to the map. That's okay. We'll skip it. I'm just going to say the continents are probably the trickiest part because we tend to want to keep going in a circle. And with the subcontinents, you have to go past and back. So on top of Mount Meru, there are, according to the Abhidharma Kosha descriptions, there are things like palaces, cities, homes of gods. The biggest and fanciest of which is the Palace of Total Victory. And if you're using a mandala kit, this ornament it represents that palace at the top. And actually the 3 rings represent Mount Meru. Mount Meru has levels, and that's actually what these 3 rings represent. So is our world really like this? These 4 continents and a big mountain in the middle? No? Is our world really like this, with this mountain and these cabins? Right, yeah. So focusing on the word really, right? So there's something in this imagery that somebody is saying this is what an omniscient being sees, a version of our world this way. Francisco, can we please go back to 2-2? So I'll just give you a little bit of descriptions. Do we have a question? Francisco, can we go back to the...
My question is on the image, I found that there are different shapes. The above one is whole circle, and the bottom is half round, and the right is tangent.
Square.
Square.
Yeah.
And the left one is triangle. What does it mean?
It's a good question, and I can talk about it for an extremely long time. And I was planning to originally, but we unfortunately don't have time for it today. But if anybody wants to hear more about the shapes of the continents and Mount Meru and the rest, it will be for a longer class some other time. Actually, in truth, I don't know why they're shaped the way they're shaped. I don't know if, did we lose Venerable Gilse? Ah, interesting timing. And that's actually not the, at least for Zambu, that's not the, and actually for Great Body, those were not the exact shapes we were told. So I don't know why they're shaped the way they're shaped, but there's more details around all of it. I can tell you Great Body is white. It doesn't mean everything is white, but it means the sky is white and the waters are white. And the beings that live there are twice the size as us humans. Zambu is where we live, so our sky is blue and our waters are blue. And there's a reason for that, but there's also like a reason for that. They say our continent is shaped like an ox cart. So our planet looks like that. No, our continent looks like that, which is different. Cattle is circular and golden in color. Its sky is gold. Its waters are gold. And cattle are the economy of these beings. Sound of Terror is yellow and it's square. And life is really pleasant on this continent, Sound of Terror, until the last 7 days before the being dies. And then they hear a terrifying voice telling them what's coming, which is why the whole place is called Sound of Terror. So you don't have to remember any of that. It's just you heard it. But what you could do is just as you're doing it, you can try to think, Great Body is big beings, Zambu is us, cattle is golden abundance based on cows, Sound of Terror is everybody having a fantastic time until the last week. That was such a long sentence, I'm sorry. So you had the four continents, you had the four continents, 2 subcontinents, and then those continents and subcontinents, they have their own special treasure, which is what comes up next in the prayer. So that's the Jewel Mountain, the tree of wishes, the cow that gives whatever you want, crops that grow themselves. So those are going to be 4 more piles that we're going to put on top and moving in towards Mount Meru. And they have to do with what's significant about each continent. So Great Body's precious jewel is a jewel mountain. It's made of all kinds of precious jewels, which implies that the beings there, they just go up to the mountain and their abundance is so available to them instantly. The southern continent, our special treasure, is a wish-giving tree. And it has the power to give us anything we want, but only material things. We cannot wish for us to reach enlightenment immediately. In the west, their special treasure on the continent of cattle is a wish-granting cow. She's huge and beautiful, and she gives an endless supply of gold. So she doesn't give milk, she gives gold. And then to the north, the Sound of Terror, their special treasure is crops that grow themselves. Those vast fields where you just reach out and everything is there. You can dip your finger into the ground and be like, cocoa. So there are 6 occasions for doing this 37-pile mandala. They say number 1 and 2 are as an offering and request to our root lama. So it's, is there a question?
Sorry, I was making notes. I was asking what the, for you to repeat, what was Jewel Mountain? What was the special thing about?
The Jewel Mountain?
Yes,
It's
please.
the beings who live on cattle have, Great Body. I'm sorry, Great Body. The beings who live on Great Body have abundance just instantly available to them. They live in this place where there's a jewel mountain. They can walk up to it and they're instantly abundant. So the first two reasons are to make an offering and to request a blessing, which are two different things, but apparently done simultaneously, which they describe requires an act of faith, meaning an educated understanding of karma and emptiness, to realize that this whole practice, there's no really factor to it, that I'm doing the practice in order to imprint my mind with the power of knowing that the being I'm offering it to knows what I need to give up and take up in order for all beings to reach happiness. So doing the practice is receiving the blessing that we're requesting because we're making the seeds for that blessing. Number 3 reason to do this is to formally request a teaching. And since it's a request, when you're doing the offering, you have the pile. You can either dump it towards you or away from you, depending on why you're doing it. So when you're formally requesting a teaching, it's a request, you dump it towards yourself. Reason number 4 is to do this as an offering of thanksgiving. So, for example, after you take a vow ceremony or after you receive your empowerment, after you do anything special, you do this 37-pile mandala offering. And since you're doing it as an offering of a thank you, you dump it away from you towards your holy being. The 5th reason to do this is as a long life request for your Lama. They don't have to be there with you when you're doing it. You can put up their picture or ask them in your mind to be there. And you could do it on one day. Say, I'm going to do it 28 times today. Or you could just do it regularly. And since it's a request, you dump it towards yourself. The last reason to do this is as part of the foundation practices, which we mentioned yesterday, the counting practice. So for example, if your Lama assigns you 100,000 mandala offerings, that would be a reason. And so the way you do that is in the prayer. When you see it written out after the Sashipuki, it goes straight to the Idam Guru Ratnam. But when we're doing it as a counting practice, you do the Sashipuki. You build your mandala once, you hold on to it, you do the Sashipuki, then you take a moment and think of its emptiness, and then you bring it out as a pure and perfect world that you're offering to your holy being. And that's 1. Then you think of its emptiness, bring it out as a pure and perfect world with the Sashipuki, again, that's 2. So that's what you're actually counting is the 7-pile mandalas that you're offering. After you finish however many Sashipukis that you were going to do, you do the Idam Guru Ratnam, and then you dump it towards you into your lap. Okay, so the purpose of this whole practice is to accumulate merit, right? If we're able to accumulate merit by offering something as small as a stick of incense, then offering an entire world with all the riches of gods and men should accumulate an inconceivably great amount of merit. And you already know that good and bad karma can come from mental activity alone. So for example, if somehow you got the desire to kill every single human on the planet, and with sincerity, then you can imagine it would be a really big misdeed even if you didn't have any verbal or physical actions towards that goal. So similarly, if through our faith and devotion to our Lama and the 3 jewels, we generate the desire to offer the entire world and all of its wealth to them, constructing this model to give our thoughts a more definite order and structure, then you can imagine the amount of merit that would accumulate, right? So Ken Rinpoche says, please have no doubts, I added the please, but he says, have no doubts that a very great amount of powerful karma can be accumulated through these activities. So that's why we're doing it. Vika, would you like to share your personal experiences? And then if we want, we can do, we have a ton of rice, and we have plates. And I'll just mention, the mandala kits are supposed to arrive last week, but actually hopefully tomorrow. Can I ask somebody to just, there's an apron inside this backpack. Can somebody just grab it? Thank you. I think in the outside pocket. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So the mandala kits should arrive tomorrow, and we have these, we sewed? I don't know the past tense of sew. Sewed? We sewed? Made. We made. We made these aprons in a variety of colors. So it's not just this particular one. So I think the current plan is hopefully the mandala kits arrive tomorrow. I think they're going to be $80. They're really beautiful. If you buy a mandala kit, you will get an apron along with it for free. So I think we're trying to keep these aprons clean for today instead of using them, so that way whoever wants to purchase one tomorrow will get one. I will see how that goes. Hopefully the mandala kits arrives tomorrow. Otherwise, maybe we'll get them. We do have a few which nobody would want to keep, maybe even for free, so we can use those today if you're sitting in a chair. If you're sitting on the floor, maybe we can, actually I'm not sure, Vika, what, how we're doing this, but if we want to do practice the mandala offering, maybe people could use the yoga mats and the plates and the rice. Do you want to come up and talk, or? Yeah, I'm all done. Come on up here and talk.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Victoria and I'm from Moscow, Russia. So who knows me, I'm very happy. Who doesn't know me, so recently, not recently, so for the last 10 years I work with Geshe Michael for a different kind of project, but mostly my project is a DCI teacher and DCI Global Partner. So for the previous years, we started from 2015 working with Geshe Michael when he was in Moscow and invited me to work with his project. So I also graduated the SCIM college for 3 years with some of our beautiful students from college, and so we're so much engaged and now like a family. Actually not like, it's a family feeling. So, and also in the previous time I was a DCI organizer in Moscow in Russia, and till 2020 we organized a DCI event for Geshe Michael and for DCI Global. I also was in a tour with Geshe all around the globe with different kind of teams, and we participated in different countries, and I had very good experience out of that. So now, as Rachna mentioned, we are students of Lama Sarani and Lama Sumati, who knows those beautiful, beautiful lamas. I'm really happy because this is really great teachers who spent 3 years and 3 months and 3 days retreat. So amazing teachers. I deeply appreciate I have them in my life now. How it started, all this project, first of all, I would like to appreciate our dearest Lama Sarani for her amazing, amazing idea that she always creates spontaneously like a real Buddha, to create this idea to make this Mandala festival once a year for all of us, and to have this experience how to create the mandala. And I deeply appreciate her for her idea. I didn't understand her vision, but now I see how it's growing, and I hope it will be a really annual experience for everyone who comes to Diamond Mountain. I also deeply appreciate ACI team who supported our idea, because we just like also spontaneously got this idea and brought this idea to ACI, and they feed us to all this huge program we have. So deeply appreciate them. And Diamond Mountain office also supported us well to create this Mandala festival and to have you here and to have this experience. I would like to thank my partner Rachna, and I just really would like to ask you to applaud her. For all her work. It was really hard work, because you maybe don't understand that the background for preparation all this Mandala festival, it was her. First of all this beautiful aprons she prepared for you. How many hours? 130 hours? She mentioned me today 130 hours she spent to sew all this. I also don't know the second version of verb sew. I hope it will sew. But she did all this with her friend, 130 hours, okay? So please appreciate. This rice supplement we had, it's also because of her, because I'm not here in the United States, I'm in Russia. And it's not like I'm not going to participate, but most of the work was done by her, and I deeply, deeply appreciate everything. Because even the script she created for both of us, and to prepare everything, all details. And for her, it's the first time teaching on stage. And I'm really, really happy that we're doing this together, and I hope it's benefit for you and you like it, and it will be very useful for you in the future. So thank you so much, Rachna. So the creation was, so she come up with the idea, Rachna come up with the idea to share my experience with making mandala, and why it happened like this, because when we studied mandala from Lama Sarani, I got in kind of a situation like, we all understand now that life is changing very quickly, 65 per second, right? We know that. So, and sometimes we don't notice how fast life is changing. But we all bumped in 2020, like we really start to see and feel like life is really changing so quickly. So I was the same person who experienced this in 2022, like it's really started changing, and it was not changing in a good way. And I was really desperate and just really a bit depressed. I'm not depressed person. People who know me, they wouldn't say that I'm depressed. I'm not depressed person, but at that moment I really didn't understand what to do, because I really wanted to create the clear and nice world, but it gone different directions suddenly. And I was really very sad, because I didn't understand how can I fix it. What should I do with this? And I turned around to my Lama and asked her, what should I do? And she said, go do mandala. And I was thinking like, Lama, are you sure? How with this I can fix whatever is going on? This stinks, and this, I need to do that, and I will fix whatever is happening. Are you sure? He said, go into mandala. I said, okay, because Lama said you have to do that, right? And so then I was like doubting, and I just approached her again and just asking her, Lama Sarayana, are you sure I should do that? Maybe different practice, maybe you give me different practice and I could do something different. And she said, go do your mandala. I said, okay. And you know what? Rachna perfectly explained us lots of material, what is related to mandala offering, and how everything is inside this practice, how everything is set up in this practice. So in this practice, probably listening to her explanation, you understood we have three things to keep in mind at the same moment. And that's what we don't know probably while we are studying ACI. And because Geshe-la told us we are going to approach Diamond Way, he is bringing us close, and this practice is also showing us some details probably we didn't know before. First of all, it's doing something. Doing something. Then we need something to pronounce by speech. So we need to do something. Our speech also involved in this practice. And also the third thing, our mind, we need to visualize that. And you know what? We need to do all three together. And we need to hold it in our mind. And that is difficult because we used to live and learn and practice like, okay, I do meditation. Okay, I focus on the object. Okay, this is cool. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm going to do my work all my life and or live my life. And that's it. In this practice, because we are going close to Diamond Way practices, we need to hold three things together. And maybe at the beginning, and this was my experience, at the beginning, I was like, oh my God, everything is falling apart. I have to hold this. I have to read this. I have to visualize this. I have to remember what should I put, all these piles. How can I do that? And I was like, are you sure, Lama, I want to do I need to do this practice? Because my world is falling apart, and this is falling apart. Are you sure this practice is not for me? Probably no. She said, no, go do mandala. I started doing that. And you know what happened to me? And I believe you will feel it, and you will understand that, and you will see how it goes. But I just suggest you don't be hard on yourself. Sometimes, yes, you need to hold this, and this is falling, and you need to be balanced, and you need to put rice here, and everything is falling, and you need to start all over again. And you need to start all over again. And you need to start all over again. And I learned to be patient to myself, first of all. I learned to be patient with this world. Because I wanted to fix it right away. I didn't want to see what's happening. I wanted to learn how I can hold in my mind those three things. To do something, to read or remember later the text, which Rachna showed you today or did Lung yesterday, and visualize these things. And I suggest you, so my practice was, I commit that I will do this practice in a year. And I was like, oh my God, I really need to do this a year. But you know what, after a while, I love this practice so much. I really, like if something goes wrong, I go and fix it by this. How can I fix it? Oh, all teachers saying, this is nothing about this mandala, right? This is about what you understand about the practice. If you just do the practice, if you don't understand the practice itself, you cannot get a result. So maybe, like Geshe-la is saying always, maybe you like me, and after a while, being gentle on yourself, doing, practicing mandala, sometimes failed, sometimes you just were okay with this, but you are going and doing step by step, teaching yourself to hold these three things together. Do this, speech, body, speech, and mind. All three involved in this practice. Beautiful practice. Maybe you didn't experience that before. Try to do that. So you will see how your mind will be expanded. You will see, first of all, you'll be more patient. You'll be more patient with other people, with yourself, with the practice itself. And then something started happening to your mind. Something started happening to your mind because Rachna mentioned very beautifully that we are trying to bring this mandala and create. We remember, right? In the mandala lives who? Who lives in the mandala? Special beings, Buddhas, right? Bodhisattvas. So we're trying to create this beautiful world. How we can do that? Only meaningfully. When we understand what we are doing, only being patient with this world, only being patient with ourselves, only love what you do, only create what you love, then you will create what you want to see. And this is beautiful. So something happened to your mind, as I mentioned. You will see we are cleaning all that. And by these deeds, 3 deeds, by our body, by our speech, and by our thoughts, we will create beautiful seeds. We put these seeds in our mind stream. And so suddenly, you will see your mind stream is changed. You will see you being, because you're creating beauty, right? And that's why somebody asked today, what kind of jewelry should I put? Because you're creating beautiful world. The more beautiful things you put, the more heart you bring into this practice, the more beauty you create around yourself, the more beauty you will see around your world, the more beautiful you become. And I just suggest you, first of all, be gentle to yourself, even if it's falling, even if you cannot just fix everything one at a time. Just go slowly, step by step, but do it. At least give it a try to yourself, at least try. And I really hope you will enjoy. And that's what's the most important thing. That's what Geshe-la always suggests us. Enjoy what you do. Just not like, oh, I want to fix this world like I wanted at the beginning, but enjoy what you do. Enjoy like you fail. Enjoy that you fix, right? Enjoy that sometimes you can make it. Sometimes you forgot what is said and what it means. It's all good. After a while, slowly, you will bring it back. You will remember, oh, this part was this, about this. Oh, okay, now I remember this part was about that. And slowly, you will create this beauty. And maybe you'll do it like, and you do commitment like me, not in a year, but maybe like a month, for example, or maybe 2 months. And maybe you will see changes to yourself, to others, with your mind stream. I notice I have less mental afflictions. It's difficult to say sometimes, but I really see, like, sometimes when I see somebody is not good to me, or just like, I don't know, maybe angry, or feeling no well, I'm trying to help. That's it, nothing else. I'm not upset. I'm not sad. And I noticed these changes during this last year while I was practicing this. I do understand this is accumulation come up to me, but I also understand because of meaning of this practice, and because Rachna sent this message so clear and gave you so much beautiful structure, you will do it, and you will see also what happened to you. So my point was why I started also to do this practice, and I mentioned you. First of all, because I want to fix this world, and second, because I wanted all our teachers to stay in our life. I want them to be with us and teach us more and bring more wisdom to us. So I also did this because of that. I want those teachers to stay. I want them to be healthy. I want them to stay forever. So try to do that. Try to understand that. Try to expand your mind with those three things. Just remember now, it will be probably difficult at the beginning to fix all three things, but that's what we need to do, and this is our future to do. We need to fix three things together: do, speech, talk, body, speech, and mind. All together, expanding your mind, you will see you will be different person. You will feel different. You will see different. I hope it will help you. My sharing what I experienced and what I still experience while I was doing this mandala, and I love doing that. So I hope you will like it too, and you will continuously doing that. So how much time? I have 5 minutes left, right? I don't know, sweetheart. So Rachna showed this beautiful apron for you. So maybe I'll start. So tomorrow we have a last class for Mandala, and for sure we will go and practice, and we both will help you. We need to finish small part of this. Just the top of this mandala, we need to finish how to create top of this mandala, and I'll share this with you tomorrow. But for today, just for the practice, we have apron today. Rachna asked us to be careful just not to make it dirty, because if you going to do mandala, it should be clean. We're creating beautiful, clear world. So how to use this? You're putting this like an apron, like too tight behind your neck, and then it will be like this. Maybe I'll go with this downstairs and to show you. So if you sit on the floor, my case now I'm sitting on the chair, for example, you put your apron like this, and it's going to be rice here, and it's going to be your mandala here. So you first taking, oh, thank you so much, Mark. And first, you're taking your first ground basement. So, as Rachna mentioned to you, so rice is here, you're putting this here, you grab this small amount of rice, put it in your hand and hold it like this. If you're left-handed, then it's a different side. If you're right-handed, it's like my case. You hold it like this. And you start doing the mandala, like dropping the rice. So first of all, you're cleaning like Rachna mentioned, and it's good to repeat it several times. I don't know about you, but I remember at the beginning I was like everything was falling into small parts. I couldn't understand what should I do first, what should I do second. That's why we have these diagrams. We have 2 versions of diagrams. You can use it. Just put it in front of you and just see and do. See and do. And nothing wrong with this. Nobody forced you just right away to remember everything. That's how I started. Do slowly, step by step. Do first ground, then maybe tomorrow the second one. But do step by step. Put this diagram in front of you, either version you like. So choose it and start doing that. So then you grab the rice, and when you finish this Sashipuki. No, Sashipuki. We go refuge. So we first started with the refuge, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Then you put some rice on Vajrabhumi Ahum. Then you're taking the second ring. You put it on top. Now, this is the tricky point, because it's not stable. So, first of all, do remember, fix your place properly. Sit properly. Don't move, because if you start moving, your mandala will be ruining, okay? So, putting next ring, and then you grab the second pile of rice, and then you start in like Om Vajra Reiki Ahum. Just go slowly around your walls of this ring. Okay? So you did this. Oh, sorry, it's not on the Om Vajra Reiki Ahum. Okay? Then in the center is summit. You put another pile of rice. And it doesn't matter where it goes, because it will go different sides. It doesn't matter. It should, you think it should be stable and it should stay in the center, but it won't. It will be like falling, and it's okay. Okay? The most important, you're putting this in the center. That's it. Then you grab the next pile of rice and you put it here on the south. In the east, on the east. You put it here. Then, and now I think for everybody is very interesting point, because you just finally realize we think our world created differently. Like we have planets, we have sun, we have 7 continents on planet Earth. But according Buddhism, as Rachna mentioned, they said we have different structure of the world. And now probably it's also a tricky point. You need to switch your mind to this structure. We have different structure. Okay, 2 tricky points. You need to be stable. No need to be hard on yourself. Just do slowly, step by step. And the second thing, we need to understand that we have different structure now. That's it. Nobody told us before, so we didn't know that we have different structure of the world. And so we need to understand we have a central point, we have 4 different continents, we have subcontinents. They named differently. Okay. How you go to school? Do you remember when you went to school? So you also learned some different new things, right? So it doesn't matter what age you are now. Learn new things, no problem, okay? So then slowly grab another pile, put it on the east, then north, then west, then south, then west. Yeah. So first you finish and see the diagram you have. You have numbers, okay? Match numbers with what is written on the text. It's easy. Go slowly. It's okay. East, south, west, north. Yeah, another tricky point. Oh, I thought north, south, east, west, east. Different things, okay? So, no problem. We can learn. So it will be east, south, west, and north. It's okay. No way. So we will learn. So then we go in another direction. We grab another pile of rice. And we see in the diagram, you see, you're still putting everything in the first ring. And the thing is, when you put everything, you will see your rice will be falling. And it can be fell down out of the apron. So this is important. Don't pick up this rice and put it back, okay? You cannot do that. But also don't throw it away, right, Janice? We cannot throw away whatever we use for the practices. We need, after you finish everything, just collect this rice and use wisely, so you can give it to birds, or you can go and bring it to your garden, or maybe outside. But don't throw it into garbage. It's not good. Don't do this, okay? So, this is small things we can start today, because we are out of time, right? But, I don't know how it goes. So, what else? Rachna mentioned yesterday, for the start, how to clean the mandala set. Saffron water, blessing from teaching. There is one third method you can use. You can have a incense stick. You can use incense stick. Just burn it and smug it. Okay? And we have a beautiful magical mantra. Most of you know this mantra. What is this? Om Ahum. Om Ahum, smug it. Om Ahum, smug it. Another ring. Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum. That's it. Okay, and as Rachna mentioned yesterday, you did it once, no need to do it again and again several times. No need. Okay. So, and then every time you create beautiful world, you probably, each of us have a different idea what kind of beautiful world we can create. And we know probably what kind of beautiful world we can have. So whatever beauty you put inside your eyes, as somebody asked about that, you'll create this beauty in your life, as I mentioned. So one more thing about mandala set, because I don't know what kind of mandala sets we have. I have no idea what size we have. Do you know? 5-inch. So it's big. I don't know inches. Like this, bigger than this, right? Maybe same size. So what I suggest you, we have different bodies, okay? So you also need to know those kind of life hacks. We have different bodies, and I'm small. I have small hands, okay? For people who have small hands, better to have not to have big mandala, because you know sometimes there are big mandala. I don't know what is the size of this mandala set. Maybe like this, like Rachna, for example. Her set is big. Not like this. Okay. Okay, 5-inch. Yeah, okay, then it's good. But sometimes they have bigger. So measure it with your hands, okay, guys? Because you need to remember, you will add rice on top of that. And if you cannot hold it, like me, for example, I wanted to choose the big mandala, and one friend of mine said, don't do this. Look at your hands, it's small, you cannot hold it. So also just remember that and have this life hack. Just choose it with your hands. If it's small like me, I choose the smaller mandala set. And it's good, I can handle this. I can hold it while I put rice on top of this. And then at the end, I can hold and put it on my table if I want this for some initiation practice or whatever. Or to present to my lama. Or if I'm doing for myself, it's easy because I'm dumping this and it's all. But if you want really to go with this mandala, just make sure, measure it with your hands, okay? Because it's going to be heavier later, because you put rice on that, okay? So different size of mandala sets. So also, you need to understand, mandala has different design. And you need to check. It should be proper way, not upside down. I mean, not like that. Okay, maybe better on this ring. This ring has a design, okay? And it should go on top of this, like this. If I go like this, it will be upside down. You cannot. Yeah, finish. It will be upside down, okay? So be sure when you constructing your mandala, creating your mandala, so you need to put whatever pictures or drawing you have, it should match us. It should go the right direction. Okay? So maybe for today that's it. So tomorrow we'll show you how to rope this mandala, how to rope apron, how to use rice, and we hope the mandala sets will come and we can use it. If not, then we have plates. And yeah, we have plates. We prepare. Rachna prepare everything for you. So that's it for today. So thank you, Rachna. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for learning this, and I hope you will like it and enjoy, first of all. Okay, thank you.